Tryna make it to the top, life ain't gon' stop. Tryna make it to the top, life ain't gon' stop. So it makes it pop, so it makes it hot. Tryna make it to the top, tryna make it to the top. On the top is where I wish I was living. On the top like I'm back in the kitchen. On the top, baking soda we mixing. Now we're doing something totally different. Hold up now, let me give you the mission. Hold up now, let me give you the blueprint. Hold up now, let me give you the move. Fuck up, got nothing to lose.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Barber Bus Talk Science and Success. I'm in the mobile barber shop, as you can see, as always. But I want to talk about a few things. And the main thing I want to talk about is for barbers that are starting out, for barbers who are struggling right now, for barbers who are wondering if it is at all possible to make a very extreme and high income off of barbering. The answer to that question is a simple yes. You can make a lot of money cutting hair. How you do that, how you build that business model depends upon a little bit of hard work, a little bit of creativity, and marketing. I'm going to break down to you guys what it is I do, where I started, and how I got to where I'm at today. For people that know anything about me, they know that I run a couple businesses besides the mobile situation. We do mobile tattoos, mobile barbering, mobile styling, all kind of stuff. But I do also a couple other businesses outside of the barber and the mobile thing. But it all started with barbering. It all started with barbering in a regular barber shop. You don't have to be a mobile barber in order to be successful. I was making a lot of money before I even got into doing mobile barbering. Regular barbering was my conduit to this, and then this was a means and a vehicle to get me to the next level and the other things I wanted to do. But how I started, I learned how to cut hair in prison. I did a lot of time in prison, and I learned in a barber school inside of SCI Dallas, and there was an instructor there that really took an interest in me and really was very instrumental in teaching me not just how to cut hair, not just how to cut different types of hair, but also how to maneuver in the business of barbering, to understand the business behind it. And I feel like a lot of barbers, new and old, are missing that point. They're missing the business of barbering. Barbering isn't just cutting someone's hair and sending them on their way. There's a professional side to barbering that is being lost for a long, long time within the industry. And people, they want that professionalism. And I'm going to explain to you those key elements that will, start you on your way to making a lot of money cutting hair. First, I'm going to tell you why they don't want to come to you. Why you're not successful. Well, they don't want to come to you for several reasons. Number one probably is your confidence. You're probably not confident. People, they can smell that lack of confidence, and they don't want to jump in your chair because they're like, oh, this guy don't know how to cut hair. He's, not even confident in what he does. That's one. That's a minor one, though. You can fix that easily just by practice and by feeling confident in yourself and what you do. Number two, which I think is very, very much important, is your reliability as a service. Not a barber, not just as a barber, as a service. A lot of service people that provide a service aren't successful because of that one key factor. They're not consistent and reliable. One of the main arguments I see, not arguments I should say, more the most grievances I see with people and why I want to get them as clients of mine is because their barber is not available. He doesn't make himself available. He's not consistent with the times and days he's there. He'll set an appointment and then cancel without even saying anything sometimes. Sometimes he's just not there. This is something that happens in barbering a lot. It's not even something that happens here and there. This is very much a norm in barbering. Inconsistency. Professionalism. I can't tell you how many times I've had mothers, I've had people of alternate lifestyles being offended in barbershops. I've had, women that, want to get their hair done in a barbershop just being offended, and it's because of either the conversations that these guys are having in there, or it's the things they're saying to the actual patron. Professionalism is very, very important. You want to make your clients feel comfortable, so you have to relate to them on their level. And when I was in barbershops, I lost clients like that. I lost clients because the barbers around me were speaking inappropriately around my client. They felt uncomfortable. It wasn't me, it was the surroundings. So, you have to make sure that you're in a shop that's professional too. Or if you create your own shop, make sure there's a standard for that. A standard for the things that are said and spoken of in the barbershop. Things not to be spoken of in the barbershop. Because you get too comfortable, you get to speaking very inappropriately, and then people are offended, and they won't tell you that. They just won't come back. I think one of the main reasons that the culture has become so lackadaisical and unprofessional is for the same reason that a lot of great barbers and skilled barbers are created. A lot of good skilled barbers are created in prison. The reason why skilled barbers are created in prison and not out here in the streets is because they have the unique opportunity of having a captive audience to cut day in and day out. So they're cutting constantly. They're cutting, white, black, Asian, Spanish. They're cutting everybody and all types of hair, so they get really good at it. They're doing it day in and day out. You don't really get that opportunity in a barber school because there's really not a whole flow of traffic of people that are out here that want to go into a barber school and get their hair cut. And if they do, they really don't care how it looks. That's why they're going to a school. The people in prison care how their hair looks. Believe it or not, they really care. They don't want their hair messed up. You see, man, somebody see you out in the yard over their haircut. Trust me, I've been through it plenty of times. When I was learning, I wasn't all that good in the beginning at cutting hair, so some things happen. But anyway, but for that reason, most people that go to prison for nonviolent crimes. The nonviolent crimes is usually drug dealing. Drug dealers usually are very unaccommodating to their clients. That's just how they are. They make them wait. They feel like they need them more than their clients need them more than they need them. The addicts, that is. So barbers kind of treat their people like fiends a little bit. Do you ever feel like that? If you're somebody watching this, do you ever feel like you're being treated like a crackhead? Like they tell, I'll be there in 10 minutes. They're an hour later. Oh, yo, come at 2:30, and then they don't cut you till 5, 6 o'clock. Barbers, y'all gotta tighten up. I don't do that. So that's why people don't mind paying me a lot more money for haircuts, because I'm reliable and I'm consistent. And I'm always on time. You never have to wait on me. Even when I was in a barbershop setting, a regular barbershop, I was there. I was ready. When I told a person to come, they came. They may have waited maybe 5 minutes for me to finish the person before, but they're not waiting an hour. They're not waiting 2 hours. They're not waiting all day. So efficiency and reliability, punctuality, all these things make for a better experience for the client, which makes more money for you and makes you more valuable as a barber. You don't become more valuable as a barber because you start spray dyeing people's hair. You become more valuable as a barber because you get people in and out, and their haircuts are good, and it's a very good atmosphere, and people are comfortable with you. That's how you get money in this industry, and really any industry for real. People have to feel comfortable. Aside from those things, your starting point when you first start cutting hair is gonna be low. You're not gonna start off charging $60, $70, $80 a haircut. It doesn't happen like that. What happens is you build your brand, you build up your rapport with the people, and as you build that rapport with the people, they will find value in you, and as the value rises, you will become more booked. As you become more booked to the point where you can't book anymore, then everybody that books after you raise the price, and then you go back and raise the prices on people that you did previously. You don't raise them on your regulars right away. You work your way up to that, but you do raise it as your availability becomes thin, because supply and demand is called supply and demand. As the demand for you rises, the supply of you lessens, the price has to raise. It's pretty simple concept. If you're booked beyond being able to book, you got to raise your prices. Even if you just raise it $5 or $2, you got to raise your prices, because the people that are dealing with you, because you've raised your stock, you're reliable, you're consistent, you're on time, you're convenient. Because you've raised those bars, people will see value in you, and if you raise your prices, they won't have a problem paying them, because they don't want to go to them knucklehead barbers that make them wait for 2 hours, that don't want to cut their kids' hair and want to skip people before they cut the kid, that want to flirt with the female that comes in with her son, that want to hit on the girl that just want a haircut, who wants to talk about inappropriate, non-politically correct things in the barber shop. They'd rather go to you because you don't do those things. So they're like, man, it's either this or pay more. They pay for convenience. They don't pay you to be not coming into work. They'll pay you to be late for appointments. They're not paying you for that. They're paying you to get their hair and to do it in an efficient, reliable, consistent way. People like that. They like consistency. Consistency. McDonald's isn't McDonald's because they have the best burgers. McDonald's isn't McDonald's and $1 billion corporation because they have the best anything. It's because they're consistent. Because every time you go there, you're getting what you're gonna get. You know what you're gonna get. You're getting it every single time. Period. Chick-fil-A, the line's wrapped around the building at all times. Why? Because they're consistent, reliable, and because they actually give a very high level of customer service. That's what it is in barbering. Treat it like a business. Treat it as if your clients actually mean something to you. Like their time means something to you. Because their time means something to them. And your time means something to you. So don't waste their time, and they won't waste your time. If they do waste your time, that's not the type of client you want. But you have to make sure that the bar is set high on your end first, before you set the bar high as far as your prices, the clientele you deal with, all those things. You have to raise your bar. So that's just a little advice for any new barber starting out. If you're struggling, like it's not going to be a struggle forever. Stay consistent with it. There was times where I made $20 a day cutting hair because I didn't have anybody to cut, because people didn't know I could cut yet. And I was building that reputation. You got to build your reputation, but don't build it upon how good you cut. Build it upon how good you treat the client. If you treat your clients good, they'll treat you better. I promise you that. Always give more in service than you receive in money, and the money will come flying and flowing in. Trust me, I know. Because it wasn't always easy. It was a struggle in the beginning. It was times where I wanted to get back into the street life because I wasn't making any money cutting hair. I just stick with it though. I stuck with it, and I kept raising the bar and kept making myself irreplaceable. That's what you do when you're consistent, reliable, on time, efficient, good at what you do, kind to your people, treat your clients like they matter. When you're that way, you're very irreplaceable, because most of these barbers don't do that. And that's not just here where I'm at. This is everywhere. I'm in barber groups up to my neck, and I'm seeing all these trends. I'm hearing these things. So fix those things and you'll fix your pockets, I guarantee you. All right, y'all. Like and subscribe. I'm out. I gotta go ahead and get something to eat real quick before I do some more money making.
Trying to make it to the top, trying to make it to the top. On the top is where I wish I was living. On the top, like I'm back in the kitchen. On the top.